Help me get rid of my internet stalker. Someone on an IRC channel has been stalking me. It started a while ago and seemed innocent. They found my Reddit username and did a simple internet search for that username, leading to an old youtube.com video and nothing else. Then I made the mistake of linking a page that had my last name on it. And since then they've gone creepy. They have found an old resume, luckily with an outdated address. My personal page is on the internet, and now they have found my boyfriend's Facebook page, which isn't as locked down as my own, and sees updates on there. He seems to be searching through everything and anything to get information, pictures, locations, etc. I'm getting scared that he will find too much on me and do something creepy. About him, I know his first, last name, his wife's name, that he has 3 kids, and possibly his address. I don't know if that information helps at all, but that's all I could find about him. I'm not sure what to do about this. Do I approach him through IRC? Do I ask the channel owner if they have a chat log? How much information should I tell my boyfriend? I don't want him to worry too much, and I do think he should make his Facebook profile more private, though. Any suggestions? Reddit? Internet stalker. This all started back in August of 2011. I received a message from one of my YouTube subscribers on Facebook, which was a no big deal, since I had a couple of subscribers on Facebook. Her name was Crystal, and she was asking about a bag I was wearing in a video I did. It was around 12 a.m., so I didn't answer since it was really late at night. Time goes by, and 2 hours later she messages me again. Since I am a pretty light sleeper, I was awoken by the message notification, and finally decided to answer her back. We got to talking, and after some time we became really good friends. I don't know what it was about her, but she was really easy to talk to. I felt comfortable talking to her. Since I didn't go on Facebook much, I asked her if she could download this messaging app that was easier for us to talk through. We even started sending each other gifts around holidays, birthdays, Christmas, etc. Our friendship lasted for around 3.5 years. We even made plans to meet in person. Towards the end of our friendship, our conversation started getting weird. I started feeling like she was constantly lying to me, because what she would tell me just didn't match up. Suddenly, around my birthday, she stopped talking to me. Confused, I tried messaging her once more, and after that, I decided that if she really wanted to talk to me, she would. A week or 2 later, she messages me again, saying she just found out my birthday had passed and was wishing me a happy birthday, acting like she didn't know, which I know she did, since she knew when my birthday was all the previous years, and Facebook notifies you about birthdays. She would be on Facebook every single day. That was our last conversation. Exactly a year later, I receive a notification telling me I had a friend request on Facebook. Immediately, I noticed something off about it. The person who had the account was using my picture and a shortened version of my name. Luckily, I saw the name because when I clicked on it, the request was gone, and when I went to search it up, nothing showed. Knowing most likely I had been blocked, I decided to use my boyfriend's phone to search up the account, and sure enough, I found it. I was shocked. For years and years, someone had been using my pictures and pretending to be me, even going as far as to posting pictures of my friends and ex-boyfriends. But who? I kept looking, and I stumbled upon a video recorded by the person who made the account. I watched, and as soon as I did, I recognized a little girl who came out in the video. She was Crystal's niece, and I knew it was her because she was wearing the same exact clothes as in a photo Crystal uploaded of her in her original account. I also knew it was her because on a couple of photos she posted, she had location on, and it was her exact city. I'm positive she had been lurking around on my profile when she accidentally sent me a friend request. Most likely because I posted something the day before about people making fake accounts to try and get into my Instagram account, which was completely irrelevant, you know? The deeper I got, the more horrified I was, as I realized this lady had way more than just one fake account. She had about 4 more, including one. She had been using her own cousin's pictures. She even had 2 more she used to make her main fake account seem like they had friends. This lady was married with children and claimed to be a devoted Christian, but here she was with fake accounts she used to talk to men. I was pissed off, since I've been dealing with her already, stalking me on Instagram. Even after I blocked her, she would try and find a way back into my account, which was on private. So I decided to call her out on it, asking her to delete the account or else. Of course, she denied everything, but it was obviously her, because not even 10 minutes later, and suddenly the account was deactivated. This is the comment she left me. "What the hell are you talking about? I don't need to open other accounts of you. I don't even really know what you're talking about." After that, she blocked me on every other fake account she had. When I got really to thinking about how this lady had been my best friend for 3 years and all the while had this fake account of me, it just makes me wonder how crazy you have to be to do something like this. Even with her own cousin, I trusted her. She was the only person I would talk to. Don't trust anyone, even those who claim to be your best friend. Even up till today, she still uses her fake accounts and still has me blocked in every one of them, so I can't even report them. I'm just glad we never met, because who knows what that wacko would have been in real life. Crystal, you nut job. Let's not meet. A disturbing realization. When I was younger, I had an internet stalker named Jake. I was still in high school, around 14 or 15 years old, and he was a lot older than I was, but he was nice and I enjoyed his company and conversations. We met on one of the old Facebook apps that you could download to your page, and I eventually added him on my actual Facebook. We made small talk, like where I wanted to go to college, what I wanted to do, etc. He told me he was from Virginia, so I knew I would never get to meet him. A couple months into our friendship, he began flirting with me. I honestly enjoyed it because I was extremely self-conscious and hated myself at this point in my life, and I welcomed his flirting with open arms. It started off extremely harmless, saying how sweet I was and how pretty I was. As time progressed, the flirting turned into harassment. A lot of sexual things were said to me, while I'm still underage and I was too nice to completely abandon his friendship, but ignored him whenever he said things like this to me. I guess a part of me didn't know how to handle the situation, as I've never been in a situation like this before. Looking back on it, I should have put a stop to it right there. Anyways, Jake guilt-tripped me into making me feel like a terrible person by ignoring his compliments and complained about how girls never wanted to be with him. I felt sorry for him and continued our friendship for a few more years and brushed these compliments aside. As I grew older, it finally struck me that what he was saying to me was not okay. I finally grew some balls and told him to fuck off. He apologized and I deleted him from my Facebook. He would still message me through the Facebook IM box, and eventually I blocked him. He would continue to create new accounts to try to add me, but he could still message me. Although I didn't see them the majority of the time, most of the messages were, "Hey, please talk to me, I miss you. You're growing up into a sexy young lady," etc. I continued to ignore his messages. Jake eventually created an account, added a bunch of my friends and people that went to college with me, used a fake picture and posed as a student from my school. He added me and I accepted, thinking I met this guy at a bar or a party and forgot that I even met them, since these were my heavy college partying days, you know? After I accepted, this guy never talked to me, but he would occasionally like my statuses or my pictures. I didn't think anything of it, so he stayed on my friends list, completely unaware that this was actually Jake. We were friends on Facebook until what happened a couple months later. I was now 22 years old, and I was at work one night. I was up at the bar, waiting to get the bar drinks for my table, and this guy sitting at the bar begins talking to me. He seemed extremely interested in me, and he would talk to me whenever I had to go up to the bar to get drinks. He seemed like a nice guy, and introduced himself as Mike. He asked what I was in school for, what I wanted to do, all that typical small talk. He kept telling me I have such a nice smile, face, personality, etc. I would say thank you and tell him that I needed to get back to work. While I was at my table, I could feel his eyes on me. I was a little creeped out, but he told me he was from out of town, and I didn't think anything of it, since I would never see him again. He kept offering to buy me drinks when I got off work, but I obviously declined and told him I had a bunch of homework to do. After I got cut from the floor, I hurried to clean my section and get my side work done, so I could get the fuck out of there. Before I left, though, he stopped me, took my hand, and actually, he kissed it, saying it was a pleasure to meet you, while giving me the creepiest friggin' smile. The bartender saw my discomfort and made sure I made it out to my car okay, and that he didn't attempt to follow me. A couple hours later, I got a message from Jake's real account, saying, "You look so beautiful tonight." My heart stopped. I messaged him back saying, "What?" And he replied with, "You look so beautiful at work tonight." I felt my heart drop into my stomach, and I clicked on his page, looking through his pictures for a recent one. All of his pictures were from when I first started talking to him. He never updated his pictures, and the ones he had were all extremely out of date. I looked through every nook and cranny of his Facebook, profile pics, albums, wall photos, tagged photos, you name it. Then I saw it. It was Mike, from the bar. I started shaking, never realizing he could have found me like that. I thought I did everything right, ignoring him, blocking his accounts. I asked him how he found out where I worked, and he confessed about his fake college kid profile. I quickly deleted and blocked the fake profile, and I told him, if I ever see you again, I'll fucking call the cops, and you better pray to God that they get there before I kill you myself, and blocked him. Jake, Mike, whoever the fuck you are, let's not meet or ever, or I'll stab you. I sexted with a psycho. A few years ago, I was at one of my lowest points in my life. My wife had left me, so I was alone, heartbroken and depressed. I don't have many friends, so I had nowhere to go. I would just walk around stores for hours, so I wouldn't have to at home by myself, thinking about how shitty my life was. I was nearly committed suicide on more than one occasion, but somehow talked myself out of it. During this time, I happened across an adult webcam site that I would hang out on, not only for the obvious reasons, but also because you could actually chat with people. Eventually, I started broadcasting myself. If you've never been to one of these sites, think Twitch but with nudity. People can view your cam, tip you, and subscribe to be notified when you're online. I didn't have many people in my room at first, but eventually, I started getting a few anonymous viewers, and it was kind of exciting that someone was watching me. Before long, I was up to a dozen of viewers and some subscribers. I even started doing some tips and making a little money doing something that, let's face it, I was gonna do every evening anyways. It was mostly guys watching me, of course, but although I'm straight, it didn't bother me too much. It gave me people to talk to at least. I would, however, get females, or at least guys saying they were female from time to time. Eventually, a girl named Britt started stopping by regularly. She was different than most of the people I'd met on the site, because she actually seemed interested in talking to me, and of course I enjoyed the attention. Whenever she'd stop by, the whole room would be a lot more fun. We started private messaging, and I even made her a moderator for my room. She asked me if I had kick, but at the time I never even heard of it. But she explained it was a texting app that you don't have to give out your number to use, so we started chatting offline using it. We would talk for hours. I found out she lived halfway across the country, which I actually liked, because there would be no pressure to meet in person right away. We sent pictures. She was very attractive, and at some point began sexting with one another. Even though I doubted much would ever really come of it, it was great for me because it gave me someone to talk to, and it was really helpful in rebuilding my shattered self-esteem and confidence. This went on for a few months, and eventually, we started talking less and less. I kind of expected that this wasn't going to go anywhere, so it didn't bother me when she stopped responding altogether. I never held any illusions that this was going to be a long-term relationship. I figured she had found someone real, knew her. I decided that someone she could actually be with was better than a long-distance fling with someone she never met in person. It was fine. By this point, I had met a few girls myself, so I wasn't too upset. I did miss chatting with her sometimes, because I really enjoyed talking to her, and she had been there for me during a pretty dark time in my life. Anyways, I went on with my life, and started dating someone, and we ended up going on a trip to the beach together. A couple days after I got back, I got a message from Britt, asking if I was in Florida. What the fuck? How would she know I was in Florida? I said no, but I'd been there last week. She said she was there now, and we must have just missed each other. We talked for a bit. She asked me where I had stayed and told me she was just down the street from that hotel. When I told her that I had been there with someone, she got pretty upset and then stopped messaging me again. I was a little confused, and more than a little weirded out that she had known where I had been, but I didn't think too much of it. I told myself it must have been a strange coincidence and forgot all about it. Then things took a turn for the worse. A few weeks later, I get another message from Britt late at night, after my girlfriend had gone to sleep. Who the fuck is she? I had no idea how to respond to that. I asked her what the fuck she was talking about, and she went on to describe my girlfriend and asked me why I thought I could get away with cheating on her. I was absolutely floored. Not only had I never been in an actual relationship with Britt, I never even met her in person. On top of that, she had stopped speaking to me for months now, and suddenly now she knew that what my girlfriend looked like and was accusing me of cheating on her. What the fuck? I expressed all of this to her, and then asked her how she knew what my girlfriend looked like, thinking she was Facebook stalking me or something like that. Her reply made my jaw drop, and felt like somebody had just tossed a brick into the pit of my stomach. Because I can see her in your fucking bed. I immediately closed the blinds and checked the house and made sure the doors and windows were locked. I told her that we had never been in a relationship, and we are most definitely not in one now. I asked her to please leave me alone and never contact me again. She just responded, LOL, with a smiley face. It was at this point that I noticed the light on my webcam was on. She had somehow hacked into my computer and turned on my fucking webcam. I unplugged it and threw it into the closet. Brett then sent me another message. You're no fun anymore. I told her again that this was unacceptable. I did not want to talk to her again, and that if she did not leave me alone, I would freaking contact the police. Then I blocked her from every form of communication I had ever used with her and uninstalled Kik. The next day, I had my cable company change my IP address, and I haven't heard from her since. But I'm still fucking paranoid that this isn't over. So, crazy sex thing, internet stalker, Britt, let's not meet again.